it's really valuable and really good.
All right, why don't we start at the beginning, even though we've done this before? Start at the beginning and just take us, and we're going to play some videos of it, and we're going to go through the website as well. But give us the short and dirty about what you got, the sizes, and just hit it right from the beginning. You know, you get your elevator pitch.
So my goal initially was to really be able to provide affordable condominiums for people, whether it be Dominicans, Americans, Europeans, Canadians, you know, or whatever. It didn't matter. My goal was to get below or at, to start, that $99,000 price line. You know, when we started real estate a long time ago here, it seems like everyone would come to us and say, I want ocean view, and I want it to be $100,000. And we would literally laugh. You know, we would say it's just not possible. And so I learned, you know, a lot about the business. I learned a lot about the Dominican Republic and made a lot of, you know, really great friends, especially in the construction business. And so that's really the reason kind of it all started. And so I knew I wanted to develop. I just didn't know exactly what was going on. Then, you know, on a spur of the moment whim, my attorney actually called me one day and said, hey, I have this house for sale. It was in this neighborhood. It was in Gaspar Hernandez, right above the huge mansion. And so when I walked into the house, I was just blown away, because I have never really seen anything that took my breath away. This was one of those properties. So I knew I wanted to build there. It was you know, it took a little time to negotiate on the property. I knew I wanted to also not only do 8, but I wanted to do more. So I wanted expansion, or the ability to grow. And so it just kind of it took shape there. As far as what we did, we kind of took a look at the lay of the land, and what, you know, the room that we had to build on, and we decided that it was, and I knew I only wanted to do 1-bedroom apartments, literally only 1-bedroom apartments. But I also wanted to give flexibility to people. If they wanted to combine 2 units at this stage, they could do it. So, you know, it was cool to be able to rock and roll and get started. And you know what? The response has been absolutely amazing. And to be honest, Jim, I truly thank you, because we have not done any advertising at all. And it's literally just been yours and my interview, just to kind of get the word out. And it's worked out great. I couldn't be happier.
Perfect. Awesome. I appreciate that. And I was surprised by it, but I'm grateful and glad you're rolling on it. So again, just to give us the logistics, sizes, prices, financing, the whole bit.
Yeah. There's 2 different sizes available right now as we speak. The larger unit, it's an open floor plan, 919 square feet with a 9 by 25 foot covered, walk-in closets, laundry room, wide open living room, kitchen.
You got to start that over. You went garbled there. Start from the beginning again. Yep.
Okay. So we're going to start at the large unit. You didn't get any of that?
You just garbled halfway through it, so just hit it from the top again.
So the larger unit is 919 square feet with 9 foot by 25 foot covered terrace. Covered terrace is, for me, the most important. If you're going to live on the ocean, you need a covered terrace to be able to put nice furniture, to be able to put a table to go out and eat. So that's tons of usable space that people absolutely love. That's the larger unit. It's a wide open floor plan, walk-in closets, open kitchen and living room, at kind of like the floor plans that Americans have kind of grown accustomed to. That's another reason, you know, when selling Dominican projects here, we kind of walk in and we see room after room after room after hallway. And so for me, I wanted to open everything up. I wanted to make it serviceable, really, that it's something that Americans would love. And the walk-in closet has proved to be probably the best idea, because obviously women in America and Canada absolutely love walk-in closets. So
you got that right. Okay, I'm on your website right now, so I'm going to try and get to the floor plan here.
Yeah.
Where do I find it?
So the floor plan is, if you click on the condominiums tab.
Yeah.
Click on the condominiums tab and then scroll down a little bit.
Okay, good. Here we are. So this is what you're talking about when you say, and you can zoom. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can zoom it after. It's not live.
Yeah. And I'm gonna
One-bedroom condo, second floor unit, modern open floor, 919 or 85.38 meters.
Yeah. The smaller
condo,
unit is 680 square feet.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to find that one. This is, oh, here it is, 680. Yep. One bedroom condo, modern open floor plan, 680 or 63.23 meters.
680 square feet is the smaller unit.
680 square feet, correct.
Yep. Because you don't necessarily have a breakfast bar. That's the only difference in the floor plan.
Okay. All right, cool, perfect. So those are the three different floor plans.
It's she put a desk to have kind of a. Yeah.
Oh, I'm losing you again, bro. Yeah, you're totally frozen.
Still with me? My connection?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but your video's frozen.
I see you. Can you see me?
I see you too.
Okay. Sorry.
But you're frozen. I can hear you, but you're frozen. No, I can't hear you at all. You're going to have to exit the room and come back in. I think you got a Wi-Fi bug, possibly. I'll keep rolling. Exit the room and come back, Sam. All right. It says that you can't minimize, but you just overlay all the links in the show description. EdenDR.com. EdenDR.com is where you hit it. And then this. Oh, this is our interview. Welcome aboard, brother.
Thanks, man.
Okay,
It's good
so
to be here.
long to get all set up. I'm not going to put you through this torture, but just we say with love. This, and again, in the show description, will be the first interview on location where I went to see Sam at his place on the beach in, what is it, residential, not Hermosa, what's it called? Hispaniola. So this is the first video that Sam and I did over there. All that information will be in the show description if you want to check that out. And welcome back, bro.
Thank you. Sorry.
It's all good.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So, listen, the larger floor plans and the smaller floor plans are very similar. The only difference is there's no breakfast bar, really, in the smaller unit. I personally prefer the smaller unit myself, and that's the unit I really wanted to get to be in the $99,000 range. So it's worked out really good. Both floor plans are really popular, and actually more people than not are actually considering combining two units and putting them together.
That sounds reasonable, because the one bedrooms that I'm trying to sell in East Cab, they're saying the same thing. It's like, can we get a 2 or 3 bedroom? I'm like, yeah, you can join them together.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So what are we talking for delivery and reservation details and all that kind of stuff?
So great question. We're still at end of July for delivery. We feel really confident with that, as long as the weather cooperates. The weather's been fantastic. It's rained a couple days here the last couple days, but it's cooperating.
Yeah, rainy season is definitely over. We had 3 months of a foot per month of rain. We had 90 days and over 3 feet of rain. So I think, well, I know we're in the clear now, but yeah, you should be blessed with good weather now.
So it's awesome, man. It's 4 units are sold, another 4 available still. We think we're fairly confident another 2 will be gone. So, within the next few weeks, hope to be fully sold out. It'll be awesome. We're super excited about the project.
Beautiful. Contact information. Of course, you can get a hold of me. You're watching this on all my channels, and I just put you in touch with Sam because, I mean, I'm comfortable you dealing with Sam, and he's the man that's got all the details. So rather than me say, I'll get back to you on that, I just hook you up directly. So your contact information is for people to get a hold of you, Sam.
Yeah. So it's on WhatsApp. It's 809-461-1144. Before I forget, real quick, the most important thing about this entire project, and one of the things that I'm super excited about, is for every condominium that we're selling, we're actually going to send a Dominican girl on the North Coast to the university for 4 years. So we're working with the Christian school here in Cabarete and Mariposa to find qualified candidates. So this year it's going to be 8 girls are going to be able to go to college because of this. And that gives me purpose in life, and that's awesome. And next year, the plan is 24.
I wish I could remember who the YouTube commenter says. Well, what about the boys?
Yeah. The boys are self-sufficient.
Relax.
No, listen.
Okay? The boys do just
everyone. As you know, Jim, there's so many people here that need help. And I just firmly believe education is the key. And if we can give a young girl, an opportunity, I just feel like that's my calling. There are other people that have calling, to help boys. There's Inspire
and good on you hooking up with agencies that can, put a qualified candidate forward too, because not everyone's cut out for it, right? And if you don't know where to put your funds, then it's good that they will help select a candidate for you. That's awesome. Yeah,
and it's just about doing the right thing and providing opportunity to those that don't have it. And so my forte is building, developing, design. So I don't really get into who's qualified to go to the university. I certainly wasn't. It took me a long time to get through it, but I made it through. I'm pretty sure if I would have been involved in the selection process, they'd have told me
that's a different show, bro. That's a whole different show. And we got one of those shows in us down the road after we sell this thing out. But I hope you build 8 buildings all the way down the ridge of that mountainside there, man. It's a nice spot. Oh, yeah, let's hit some videos. Amazing. Almost forgot. We get to get some update videos here. Telegram. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're watching I'm glad you sent me panoramic view. What's this? When you're upside down, all the kids
portrait.
Portraits this way?
Landscape. Landscape.
Yeah, I don't like the portrait. But, man, how much has happened since this is a partial floor. You got half the floor poured, and you're showing all the rebar, and there's the terrazas, and there's the view. Wow, dude. We should tell everyone, we skipped out there for, and it was my idea, thank you very much, for a sunrise, man. And I like those low-angle sun rays, man, and especially in the morning. We got out there at 7 o'clock and watched it come up, and, dude, I'm standing there going, where do you go for peace and quiet, bro? And you're going, what, you don't like the crashing waves sound?
You could hear the waves.
Or the mooing. I didn't even hear any mooing of cows or any roosters crowing out there, man. It was pretty nice. So,
imagine going out on your terrace in the morning. My dream was to always just get up. I like to get up about 6 in the morning, go out on the terrace, have your coffee, and just
watch the sun come up.
Look and just watch and do nothing.
Yeah,
no motorcycles, no noise, no nothing. Just you and the ocean.
Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get this full screen. Okay, so this is coming in better. This is the landscape mode. And we don't need the sound on that. So you get what he saw when he went up there the first time. If you're seeing this view right here, I mean, it's pretty special, man. And then, off in the distance is the helipad for, what's his name?
I don't know his name. He's a motorcycle. He owns a motorcycle manufacturing company, and he flies in and out on that helicopter every day. It's pretty cool to watch. He goes to work literally. He's got 2 helicopters. He goes in and out of there all day, every day.
That's awesome. So that's a landscape shot of it, and then this is a different angle here. That was before they poured anything, dude. I mean, I was surprised you had a mixer out there, because the last time I showed up on a construction site, I'm like, bro, isn't somebody going to rent these guys a mixer or what? He goes, for what? Like, they're pulling the stuff up with ropes and buckets up to the, everything. They're mixing it by hand and moving it by hand. I'm like, this is wrong, man. Buy the kid a mixer.
That was the Russian development we were looking at, right? And they were pulling it up with ropes and buckets.
Yeah.
That was like I've never seen anything like it. Listen, these guys come in, they bring that automated machine that takes the concrete and then mixes
Mm-hmm.
it up. I was shocked. There's like 10 guys. There's two guys on a wheelbarrow going back. I never seen anything like it. It was
Mm-hmm.
really impressive how they do it. So
Awesome.
super, super good.
All right, one more time for the contact information before we get out.
809-461-1144.
All right. And you got an email as well?
It is Sam Hanna, Hanna, the number 7, and V as in Victor, at gmail.com.
Where the hell did my Zoom go? I'd like to. Well, it'd just be nice if. And nothing's. Zoom. Oh, there you are.
Hey.
All right, brother. I appreciate your time, and I'm really proud of you, man. I'm glad that this thing's moving along, and yeah, I can't wait to go out and celebrate the next foundation that gets poured after this thing's sold out and delivered. And we got a bunch of happy people that, expats, Dominicans, whoever's buying these things. I mean, and you know what the best part about this type of project, I've been a realtor for 30 years in Canada, down here for almost 4 now. And you're right, there's a lot to learn about the local culture and the way they do business and lawyers and titles and severances. Oh my goodness. If you don't have a lock, stock, smoke and barreled lawyer, you got nothing. And I know that you've got a good lawyer because I've got a good lawyer. We use the same one most of the time. And that's, when you're sitting there 5 years from now, I'm talking to a potential buyer, obviously, and someone says, "Hey, how much you pay for this place?" 99,000. 129. 129. What? What's it worth now? Don't worry about
Absolutely.
it. There's gonna. I think you'll have a decent. The Dominican Republic has been decent for decades on appreciation of value. I mean, I moved in here 3 years ago. You could buy a 1-bedroom for 50, 55. Now it's 80, 85.
Yeah.
So
we don't get the huge peaks and valleys. You know what I mean? Like it's a steady real estate market. And the nice thing is God's not creating any more beachfront property. So it's the cool thing about this development. One thing we didn't talk about were the 82, not just my condominiums that are selling. Just across the mountain way, within a stone's throw away. He pre-sold 82 condominiums. Pre-sold. They're not even finished yet. So it's the area is definitely popping, and obviously the more units that people sell, the more action that happens in that area, the better the real estate market is going to be. So yeah, it worked out more perfect than I could have ever hoped for. And I appreciate your help.
Yeah, you're welcome, and I hope it continues with you. I'm going to go down. I got 15 minutes to get to George's. I'm meeting my neighbor at Leatrice down there for schnitzel. Join us if you want.
I will.
All right,
thanks, brother.
Green peppercorn sauce is my favorite. Peace out.
Okay, I'm there.
All right, ciao. That's how you do that. Sam Hanna is my guest, was my guest, and the links are always in the show description. And I'm having a hard time with my mind today. Well, for the last week, I've been foggy as hell. That's okay. This is it. Eden by the Sea, EdenDR.com. Again, all the information's in the show description below, including Sam Hanna's direct contact information. Peace, love, hug your neighbor, and I am out. managed to find a little bit of footage that's relevant as far as selling real estate goes for the background of this video. We're going to talk about some of the factors affecting Canadians that might make them want to leave the country or at least get away for the winter. This one is actually still available. Not the whole floor anymore. We sold 3 of the 5 units. There's 2 units left on one title at $75,000. It's the last of its kind in this building, which is Terraza Tropimar inside of Caribe Campo, which consists of 3 buildings. Terraza Tropimar being the one with the huge 80-foot pool, and then a small bubbler pool up top. So, as you can see, the description will be below as we roll on. Yeah, I'm Grok assisted. It's handy. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm a Canadian. I grew up in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. North End brat. My dad worked Niagara Frontier Caterers for years, several jobs before that before we were born and, during. And I got out on October 22nd. Right now, let's do a time check, see how fast I can get this up today. This is my second video today, so to make myself accountable, it is 2:24 ET in Sosua on Tuesday, May 27th. In October, on the 22nd, I will have been here 4 years. Love it. Best move of my life. Hands down. Not even close. So far, I got many more to make. And I sold real estate in Canada for 30 years, mostly for Remax Garden City out of Lakefront Plaza. Then I moved over, I did a couple. I went over to Brad's shop when he was doing internet realty for a while, and then back to Remax with T-Root as Team Niagara, and operated Team Niagara for years after that. Then after Mom died, I was like, she managed the office for many years. And after she died, I went over to Coldwell Banker for many years. And then October 22nd, I took a flight and landed here in Sosua. A friend of mine hooked me up, put a deposit down on a place right where I'm at, in Caribe Campo, and I've been here ever since. I have not even stepped foot back in Canada since I got down here. It's the love, the culture, the cost of living, the ease. You want to drive a motorbike? Buy one. You don't need a license and a special certification and special insurance and training and all that kind of stuff. You want to open a business? Put a sign up. Done. They stay out of your life. Why am I getting ads? Oh, it must be on the recording. Can I skip this? Oh, I guess this old ad is monetized. You can do whatever you want down here. Now, finding work is a little bit different because the skilled trades and the unskilled trades are really done cheaply. And, real estate management, garden, there's all kinds of services here that you could get into if you want to start a business. But it's just a different way of life. People smiling all the time. Everyone says hola. Well, I'm always that guy. But you see complete strangers standing on a corner busting balls with their arms around each other. It's a different vibe here altogether. Highly, highly recommend. Maybe I should have this one speed up. This is a longer video. Yeah, you don't mind watching things. Wrong setting. Playback speed. You don't mind watching at double speed, do you? So, but since I left Canada, wow, how things have changed. And I'm so glad I didn't have to deal with what the hell is going on there now with the mass immigration and the lack of housing and the real estate market exploding and rentals being through the roof if you can even find them. So this is my session to tell you, if you have some equity you can pull out of Canada to invest in a place that you can get away to and that has a decent rental stream while you're not here, I know a guy that can help you manage it and get away from the rat race. This one's available now. This is one of the few studios that's available. It's a little high. It's at $75,000. And they're just going to upgrade to a 1-bedroom. They've been here. They had this 2 years now. Put a new kitchen in it. Put a nice Murphy bed there. That's probably this video that won't show it. It's loaded, comes furnished, Instapot, all the appliances, everything. But if you got a little equity, cash it in. Do you think that real estate prices, do you think that you're going to increase your equity any over the next couple of years in Canada? I don't think so. I think you saw the peak. And before you lose more than you've got already, or more than you've lost already, consider cashing some of it in. And I can help you out. I'm on the North Coast. My name is Jim Fannin. I run whatever channel you're looking at. I don't know. We broadcast these things live. Sometimes this is a pre-recording, so I will have it SEO'd before I get it up live. We might do it live of this because it qualifies. Anyway, I'm rambling. If you've got an option to put and it doesn't take much, 100,000 American. Basically, you're in, you can buy a little condo. Couple 100,000 American, you get a nice little house in something like Casa Linda, a brand new gated community. They've built 400 homes. They've got a track record of quality that can be seen over the years, including now. It's a solid company. So for 200,000 USD, you can get into a nice, very rentable Casa Linda accommodation. And your fees on that are $325 a month, American. So you got a little bit of fees, but there's no taxes on top of that. No real estate taxes to speak of in this country, unless you're into the big stuff. So there are opportunities here. And what you've got in Canada is a real high cost of living right now, especially in the major cities. Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary, jeepers. Even just the cost of electricity, natural gas to heat your homes, which you don't have to worry about down here, obviously. Groceries, rent. Down here, Dominican Republic's got great chicken, great eggs, great produce, fruit, obviously. You know, I bought an extra large pineapple the other day for 86 pesos. Super sweet, and it grown right here. Dozen eggs, 100 pesos. What's that? $1.85 American. And good brown eggs with a deep colored orange yolk, a thick shell, and they stay in the cupboard. They don't wash them, so they don't need to refrigerate them. It's crazy. This property is not available either. Oh, this one still is. We'll start off this one. One of my best plays on this island is this place on the beach for 109 half down. Owner financing. It's not pretty right now. This is even, well, it's getting uglier as they do more demo, but they're going to be in reconstruction mode soon. $109,000 on the beach in East Cabarete. So when you struggle with the high cost of electricity, gas, gasoline, housing, groceries, taxes, you also have to deal with limited job opportunities for especially the youth. Students can't get a job anymore. I don't want to get political, but if you have a student and they are trying to get work in the summer, good luck. It's gone. Then if you're fortunate enough to have a job, the personal income tax rate, I mean, compared to this country, is the difference between what you're paying now and nothing. The money you make on this island, you know, as long as you're not clocking big deposits into your bank account all the time, the government leaves you alone. It's not like they knock on your door every day and say, want to demand statements. Now, if you're a big hotel or a restaurant and you're paying taxes and stuff like that and you're collecting taxes, yes, but the mom and pop shops down here don't put the 28% tax on here. You know, there is a tax a VAT, I guess you call it, value-added tax, or a sales tax, or whatever they call it, of 28%. So when you eat in a restaurant that's computerized and collects taxes and pays taxes and hires lots of people, then you pay a 10% tip and an 18% tax. But in the mom and pop shops, you don't pay that at all. And if you have any income down here, no one is chasing you. Like I said, if you're a small guy, they're not chasing you. You start putting tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank account, somebody's going to come looking for you. But it's the Dominican Republic, man. It's so laid back. And obviously, I say play by the book. But so the income tax rates here compared to where you're at are unbelievably different. I went and bought a Dominican washing machine for one of my clients the other day. 10,900 pesos. Guess how much the cash out was? 10,900 pesos. There's just no tax on it. I don't know. Is it built in? Shouldn't they be taxing me? I bought it from L&R. It's a legit big chain of, stores. Anyways, in addition to the personal income tax rates, high sales taxes, carbon taxes, oh my goodness, income tax, yeah. You also have economic uncertainty and lack of growth in some sectors, many sectors now. And with the trade talks, Trump threatening tariffs, and the liberals' reactions to it, how's your quality of life? How are you enjoying those harsh winters and long, cold seasons and the sun going down at 4:30 in the afternoon in December? Now, I was never a big fan of that, but here we don't change our clocks. And here, your sun times are, the longest day of the year is 6 till 7, and the shortest day of the year is 7 to 6. So figure it out. There's a 2-hour difference between the longest and the shortest day. There's no sunsets at 4:30 here, ever. Sad. Seasonal affected disorder. You don't get that here because the sun shines 300 plus days a year. Happy summer. Unofficial start of summer was this weekend, is Memorial Day weekend, May 24th in the States, and the weekend before that was Victoria Day. Like, we still honor the crown somehow in Canada. I speak like we because I'm still Canadian. Somebody said on one of my channels the other day, yeah, well, if you left 4 years ago, why didn't you change your flag? And well, because I'm still Canadian. Just because I'm living in a different country, it doesn't mean I'm not the citizen that I was when I got here. But residency is not, it's pretty easy, but it takes a while and it's costly down here if you want to go for it, but it is definitely possible. The government does a lot to encourage foreign investment and people coming here. My last video was on Airbnb. They say 8 million visitors this year. Dominican Republic's doing well. Infrastructure spending's up. Second term government spending some money. They're North End guys, North Shore guys, so they're putting some money in Sosúa and the surrounding areas. And if you're looking for a different lifestyle, we're here. A warmer climate, small town versus, you don't have to live in the country to be in a small town here. A slower pace, a loving culture, Catholic. And the church actually has quite a bit of political clout down here, and I don't mind it at all. You don't want to play around. You don't openly smoke weed in, I mean, you can, but I don't. You can walk down the street, walk right out of the store with a beer in the car with you. Drinking and driving is not a big deal here. Like, it's just a different thing. But don't light up a blunt on the corner and expect people not to look twice at you. And if the cops come by, you're going to have an issue. Now, dealing with the cops in this country is way better than dealing with the cops back in Canada. I can tell you that for sure. I'm trying to keep these things shorter. And what are we at now? Time check. It's 2:38, 15 minutes already. So I'm doing more blathering and telling you more about what it's like living here than what the title of the video should be called, Why You Should Leave. Reasons that you should leave Canada. Decline in public services. Healthcare wait times. Here, I got an MRI the same day. 160 American dollars. Hello? Am I still on? My name is Jim Fannin. I can be reached. I can be reached. I can be reached at 1-809-330-8926. That's 1. Area code 809-330-8926. Call, text, or WhatsApp is best. That's what we use up in here. Seeking a better work-life balance? Come to Sosua. How competitive is your job market there? Now, working here is tricky. I'll give you that. Are you discontent with government policies, regulations, or political leadership? Hi, my name's Jim Fannin, and I live in Sosua. Concerns about freedom of speech or increasing social polarization? Hi, I'm Jim Fannin. Come to the Dominican Republic. Do you have a desire for a different cultural or ideological environment? Hi, my name is James Melville Fannin. I feel drunk. Well, if I cut it short now, I can get out of it right now. We talked about the unaffordable housing market, and home ownership down here is attainable. You can still buy a little condo for 100 G's and a nice little house for 2, and it doesn't cost you that much a month, maybe 3.25 to start in a gated community like Casalinda. You want health care? Walk in, get it immediately. Now, you've got to pay, or you have to have some sort of insurance, but how about just getting your MRI tomorrow and paying the $150 rather than waiting 8 months or 2 years and then dying in the meantime while you wait for an MRI? Are you crazy? Am I still on? How's the crime rate in your area right now? When I came down here, I was concerned about my safety and crime. It was a worry that I shouldn't have been concerned about at all. Yeah, there's small crime of opportunity. Everyone's always on the hustle. Not everyone. Many. Crime rate here is pretty solid. It's pretty good. How's your public safety or community stability? How's your community unity? Do you talk to your neighbors? Here, I don't just talk to my neighbors. I talk to everyone I see all day. Seeking adventure, new experiences, or a fresh start? Hi, I'm Jim Fannin, and I live in Sosúa, Dominican Republic. Well, this is many little commercials that I can clip for later. Thinking about Mexico? Costa Rica? No. You have to leave Colombia? No, you have to leave those countries every 6 months. And if you overstay your visa and you get picked up, you get deported, you are not allowed back. In the Dominican Republic, you can stay as long as you want. When I leave, after being here for 4 years, it's going to cost me $450 to leave. So once you overstay your travel visa, what's that, 30 days or something? or 90. Can't remember. I should know that off the top of my head. You just pay a fine. You can come back the next day. Looking to retire in a country with lower cost of living, better climates? Dominican's your choice. No, not Mexico. No, not Costa Rica. No, not Colombia. You have to leave there every 6 months. And if that's not a problem for you, that's fine. But if you're looking to retire and relocate long term and spend less time in your country of origin, then there's not a better opportunity than the Dominican Republic. I'm Jim Fannin, 809-330-8926. I love you. Peace, love, hug your neighbor, and I am out. Welcome back to the Buying Dominican Republic channel. I am your host, Jim Fannin. Today we're going to break down the Airbnb market in the Dominican Republic. First, we're going to start out with why you should do it, and then we're going to touch on some potential drawbacks that might be ahead of us. So first of all, the Dominican Republic obviously is a top Caribbean destination. It attracts millions of tourists annually, over 8 million in 2024. That's the most recent data, ensuring consistent demand for short-term rentals. The affordability of the property prices compared to other Caribbean nations in Punta Cana, Puerto Plata, Samana, it's relatively inexpensive, with condos starting as low as around 100 USD, 100,000 USD. And in the background here, we have a walkthrough on one of my most recent videos. If we can get past the ads, yes, it's a monetized channel, although it doesn't provide all that much income. This is a 4K look at the Grand Vitana with Marcos, my host. He took us around, and that's playing in the background just to give you some eye candy. Grand Vitana is in Playa Dorado Resort, a gated community. So you've got affordable prices, high rental yields. You can expect anywhere from 8 to 12% annual returns, and that's driven by high occupancy rates and some premium nightly rates, depending on exactly where you are. The Dominican Republic has favorable tax incentives as well. They offer tax exemptions for tourism-related investments, including property tax breaks for up to 15 years in certain zones. And you have to look at specific properties on whether or not they qualify for that. Dominican Republic definitely has a growing infrastructure. I love how people refer to the Dominican Republic as a third world country. Well, where do you live? Dominican Republic is not a third world country. But the growing infrastructure, including airports, roads, resorts. There's a Punta Cana International Airport expansion. We've got a lot of action going on in Monte Cristi, a brand new power plant, and they say that Monte Cristi is set up to be the next Punta Cana on the North Shore, closer to the Haitian border. But diverse guest market. The market appeals to North American, European, and Latin American tourists, and it provides a broad customer base for Airbnb rentals, and you also have year-round appeal. The tropical climate ensures no off-season. Well, there is an off-season. It's called summer. So from April to October here, you're going to see a drop-off, and your occupancy rate will plummet for sure. Now, from October to March, you've got almost 100% occupancy, depending on the property. But yeah, there is year-round appeal, but definitely an off-season. I'm using grok to kind of fill in some of these benefits here. Lifestyle benefits. Ownership allows personal use of the property for vacations, combining investment with leisure in a vibrant, culturally rich destination. And we've got some emerging markets as well where you can still buy for a decent price, and they are rapidly gaining popularity. Las Terrenas comes to mind. Sosúa is always an option. That's where I'm at. Cabarete, Puerto Plata, and of course the south and east shores where you find higher prices and probably higher rental prices as well. You got flexible management options. Lots of property management companies down here, but if you're looking for a job or looking to build a business, that might be something that you would consider, along with being a realtor, quote unquote. The currency stability. The Dominican peso is relatively stable, and the use of USD in tourist areas reduce financial risk of foreign investors. The Dominican government is very accommodating to foreign investment. You can move money down here very easily. You can buy property very easily. And if you buy a property, I think it's over $200,000 American USD, that will further your residency application if that's what you're looking to do. Cultural and natural attractions, proximity to beaches, golf courses, historical sites, and adventure activities. You get zip lining, whale watching, and scuba diving, all that kind of stuff is another reason to consider investing in the Dominican Republic as far as real estate goes. So I would also recommend to always conduct your due diligence on local regulations, property titles, and management costs because when you look at the top line, the gross income, it always looks very good. But then you take commissions and all your further expenses out of it, it's not as good as it looks at first sight. So those are some of the points of why you might consider an Airbnb for your next purchase in the Dominican Republic. And then today, we get news from tourism analyst Juan Lado mentioning the impact of the expansion of accommodations in the Dominican Republic. It says it's in a spillover effect in the local community that is greater than the case of foreign investment and foreign operated properties. Airbnb turns apartment units and homes into hotel accommodations, obviously, and these generate local buys. And the funds go into the bank account of not only local people, but also expats. In his article, he estimates that there are more than 125,000 Airbnb rooms in the market in the Dominican Republic, located all over the country. And this is more than the 90,000 hotel rooms that is usually mentioned by the government as a benchmark. Man, I got a lot of ads on my channel. Maybe I should just turn the monetization off. Lado warns that the overexpansion of the services could cause negative impacts as occurred in Spain, where these have been banned in many areas. I don't think that's going to happen here, but I would expect further taxation. The hotel lobby group is a powerful one, and they are looking to even the playing field a little bit because they pay taxes and they think that the Airbnb market should also have the equivalent taxes applied to them. Right now, you're good. Their Airbnb is not taxed right now, but like I said, the hotel lobby is a good one, is a very decently sized one. They've got some money, and they're lobbying the government to even the playing field by getting the taxes on Airbnb that they're paying right now. So Lado estimates that 25% of the local tourist arrivals are staying at Airbnbs in Santo Domingo, Punta Cana, Santiago, Puerto Plata, and Cabarete. He adds that 2 of the 3 Dominican expats who vacation here will stay at an Airbnb. So although it looks good now, and definitely it is a great opportunity if you're in North America. I don't know why you're sitting on your equity right now. Do you think your property is going to become any more valuable than it is right now? I don't know. The market is flat in most markets that I'm looking at, especially in Canada. And so it would be my suggestion to you that while you have high property values, maybe it's time to cash in some of that equity. And if you've got $100,000 or $150,000, you can buy yourself a nice little condo down here that will provide income for 6 months and also give you a place to run away to, relax, and watch your assessment growth as far as property values go. I'm Jim Fannin. I'm the host of this channel, Buying Dominican Republic. I live in Sosua, and you can contact me anytime by text, by phone call, or the best way to get me is on WhatsApp, and you can reach me at 1-809-330-8926. That's 1-809-330-8926. Peace, love, hug your neighbor, and I am out. Okay.
So the security gives some containers for the guests of the change lounge.
Yeah.
They can stop cigarettes.
Gotcha.
Company fee $5.
Yeah, you don't want that on your beach. Hola, mi hermano.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, señor?
¿Todo bien? ¿Todo lo
Todo
que?
bien, todo bien, todo bien.
¿Mucho trabajo hoy?
Sí, sí, sí.
¿Muy
Claro que
equipado?
tengo.
No.
This is our best feature of the beach.
Ajá.
So we mix get the tractor.
Yeah.
Right level.
Right. Beautiful. Pristine. Okay. Ciao, amigo.
Okay.
Hola, hola.
We have the private beach area for our exclusive guests. The services with the bottle, the bottle service comes
Sí.
for drinks and food. to
Bottle
these
service
exclusive
area,
guests.
VIP.
The snack and during the night
Oh, okay.
in a restaurant at a cart
Okay.
with seafood, all sorts. Private beach area,
Uh-huh.
valley beds, and one exclusive bar, exactly that we saw at the Vintage
Right.
with the all international brands liquor.
Okay. VIP bar with all the international brands. Just in case you can't get like Carlos. Not Carlos.
The photo boom with the swing.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you need a place to get your photos taken. Right here.
We're going to go there. But we had the handicap.
Okay.
Backwards, special for
Mark.
people. And this is a VIP area also. They just kind of buy during the night. We make
VIP area.
information for exclusive dinner.
Okay. Exclusive dinners on the beach. Bueno.
Yes.
Hola, mi hermano. Buenas tardes. Okay.
Let's check the bar and the restaurant.
All right. Restaurant coming up. Smoothie bar. Hola, amigo. No touch.
During lunchtime is a snack.
Okay, lunch is
Chili, salad.
potato salad. Ensalada papas. No. Ensalada de papas. Yeah. It's a nice spot in here. Not far to go from the beach to get something to eat. Muchas gracias. Bonito sonrisa. Pedro. Muy gracias. Gracias mucho. Muy gracias. Very thank you. Okay. Water sports. Like what? Surfing and what else?
Surfing, kayak,
Kayak, okay.
snorkeling. No motorized.
No. Oh, okay. For photography. Oh, okay. You can see what back here for wedding photos, and also the beach is an option as well.
All up on the budget.
Hmm?
It said, all put on the budget. Big party and a small one.
Yeah. Look at all these white people in the pool, man. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, great.
Thank you, sir.
Bon dia.
We have 3 buildings like the 3 main islands in Dominican Republic. Saona, Catalina, and Beata. That's the main island around
Oh, okay.
our country. Which is in the second floor.
Okay.
We refresh the colors last November
Okay.
for the whole complex.
They got remodeled.
Refresh.
Okay. Need that one.
We're really proud to get the very high level of returning guests.
Yeah.
This is happy birthday, but we have welcome back for many, many, many guests.
Oh, welcome back. Okay.
It's not coming yet.
Okay. Surprise. Oh, the birthday's not a surprise, but
Not yet. It's
Yeah,
coming at
yeah.
3 o'clock. So we bring you the
Beautiful.
fruit after.
nice and cool. Nice.
They come in with the shot. They come in with the kit. That's the reason they have it. All bathrooms are in marble.
Mm-hmm.
This is for the daughter.
Okay. Some of the best coffee in the world, Santo Domingo.
Yeah, Santo Domingo. The brand is important.
Sí. Muy importante. Beautiful.
3 stores.
Uh-huh.
Rooms are accommodations. The king size bed or 2 double beds. Also, we have suites, unit suites that you see before, and a penthouse. Kids Club. The second
Oh, yeah.
floor is the gym.
Okay. Gymnasium. Virgo Sun. Health Club. Oh, Kids Club. Oh, okay. Kids Gym. Okay. See through. There you go.
Tables are professional.
Okay.
Our center and professional photographer.
Okay. Right. Okay, I need a wider lens for that.
Maybe for this for the second floor.
Would you? Looking out? Yeah, nice.
We have the watchroom.
Okay. Huh? Good message.
Yes. We have the cedar for
Oh. Okay.
Casa de Puerto Plata.
Nice.
It's the watch. The watch floor in the floor.
This is a Sam Hanna's project, Eden by the Sea. I haven't checked in. Last time I checked in, he had 4 units available. Check it out. 99,000. Rio San Juan's a really cool. Gaspar Hernandez is a really cool place. He's got ocean view for 99,000. That's a good deal. Oh, and I guess the game's already on. So it's going to be a short episode, I think, here. $270,000 in Casa Linda is not only uncommon, but this is the last. This is like a builder's special type of deal because there's nothing left in here anymore except this one. Okay, let me show you this one where we're talking location here wise. This is halfway to Cabarete. It's called Casa Linda Connections. And it's just past Encuentro. Well, no. Connections at Encuentro. Okay, so here we go. This Encuentro is the longboarding in the morning. In the afternoon, you're at Kite Beach over here. So longboards here until about 11 o'clock. And this is Casa Linda Connections at Encuentro. Casa Linda's Connections at Encuentro. You got it? Okay, so here we are in Sosua here. We're 10 minutes over here. Over here. 10 minutes down the 5. It's right on the 5. Really easy access. And then a real short walk to the beach in the morning if you're a longboarder or you just like hanging out. So that's 270. There's very few houses in here. We could count them up, but these are all apartments, condos. They're going to have quite the facility here. If you know Casa Linda, you know they do a pretty decent job on their common facilities, shared facilities. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's call it a dozen houses in here. This is this one here. It's got a small pool. It's not real deep, but I mean, what the hell? You just jump in the pool to cool down anyways. It's not, the end of the world. This is the house right here. And it's got a one bedroom, shit, you can't see anything again, eh? I'm really good at this, aren't I? Jesus, Jimmy. Okay. Again, connections. Here, Sosua. Here, 10 minutes down the road. Man, I got to do everything twice tonight? What a loser. This is Encuentro here. This is a walk to the beach here. Jesus. And this is the house here. 270. So out of these dozen houses here, and again, I'll show you, these are the condos. What an idiot. These are the houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Call them a dozen. And this is the only one available right for $270, dude. $350 a month condo fees, condo HOA, whatever. $270. I have a few sitting ducks. This should be one of them. Every single one of these that I'm showing you, this one's a sitting duck. Sam's got some good products that'll sell. This one totally at 270. Crazy, crazy. Then I got 8,000 square feet here, 2 floors. This is Caribe, Campo. We got a small pool up here on the top level, an 80-foot pool down here with a deep end at the bottom, an old amphitheater over here that doesn't get used. These are all administrative and common areas, ping pong table, and there's a small kitchen with a fridge and freezer down there if you want to use it for an event. But this is 8,000 square feet right above reception. So you could, the only thing you can really do is turn it into condos. They won't let you do anything else here, even though it's not an official condo plan for that. They'll make an exception. I think, we got a price on this now. It's, I think it's $160,000 for 8,000 square feet of wide open space. Like, hello? Is anyone there? Am I still on? Like, 160K American, 2 floors of, I'm at ballparking. I haven't measured it. It's between, we have the numbers downstairs, but if you include the deck and all that kind of stuff, yeah, there's almost 8,000 square feet there. It's local. You might even, I don't know if you get a JV, a joint venture. A joint venture on this or not, but anything is, you never know. Like I said, it's for sale, it's not for sale. We got a price, we don't have a price, it's clean, it's not clean, it's ready now. And this one should be a sitting duck too. But again, you got to know what the hell you're doing on this thing. Like, you could close the floors off. You've got exterior access. You even got a spot here where you might be able to put like I don't know, it looks like a natural spot for a pool. Right there. I don't know if you could use that spot or not, what the deal is on that, but nobody else has got access to it, so I'd be surprised if it wasn't part of the deed, if you couldn't use it. So yeah, 160K. Shit. I thought that was going to be a lot more. This guy, I've been talking to this guy for 3 years, and again, everyone's got their reasons and their timing and whatever, and now this guy is go. Like, he wants out. It used to be called Casa Palms, and now it's New Haven. He's at 675 on it. There's 13 units. They're bungalows and 2 stories, and he's got an owner's unit, and it's a pretty cool operation if you wanted to run a little boutique hotel. He's got a nice chunk of land there. It's well landscaped. He's got a nice pool with a big waterfall on it. I'm going to go out this week and get some more footage on this. But this is one I kind of renewed. He's been out of the country. He's back. He's here. Yeah, it was green. Shit, I got a green pool in this video. That's no bueno. Senor Jim, que paso? What happened? Anyway, good little deal on this thing. I think there's seven units, is there? 13 units, 7, how many buildings? 5 two-story buildings with 2 units each. Solid little deal. Go Leafs, go. 2 building lots just came up. I haven't marketed this one yet. Something got in my mouth. This is the casino downtown Sosua. This is a house on one lot, and it's attached to another lot over here. It's the corner of Pedro Clasante and what? Do I have a picture of the sign here? I'll show you where it is right here. Where am I going again? Oh, Pedro Casante became the casino. Okay. We go over here. This is the casino. This is the lot. This is the house. Can you, oh, for crying out in the night, Jimbo. You gotta remember, you gotta look at your other screen. Okay, so casino on the corner. Abandoned. Some abandoned, some not so much. The Pure Giorgio's down here. Over here. This is the casino. So here's Sosua Beach. It's actually an interesting lot. Right in the heart of everything. You want $650 for it, who knows? There's one lot here. And one lot here that makes the corner. Who knows? So there's that. That's a brand new one. Nobody knows about that. Well, I mean, there's a sign on it. But you've never seen it on my channel before. Got about 10,000 subs on this channel now. Probably 2,000 solid, like, watchers. Maybe less, but I see them enough down here, and, you know, they come because they see it and they want to be here. This is 109 on the beach. You got to have a little vision here because it's a demo. It's been abandoned for a long time. My pictures and videos show an old abandoned hotel, but it's getting worked on by evidence of like this. You put a little, not very patient, am I? He's putting a little kitchen on the ocean here. I always call it the lake, right there. He knocked down what was there and he's putting up a new one. Construction always looks horrible here. This is a little bit more detailed, so I'm going through each of the units and they're broken up here. 4 have offers on them, so they're done, they're sold. There's 15 here. The deal was that after he had the first 5 sold, he was going to change the price. I haven't talked to him about that, but that was the plan. To go from 109 to 120 or something like that, or 129. I can't remember. But don't worry about that. Just scoop them up at 109. It's in a good location in Cabarete Este. So Cabarete East is over here. This is Cabarete. This is the main drag of the beach here. This is the Victorian condominiums, Victorian luxury condos. And right beside it is Ocean Manor. So again, all the way out. Here's Sosua over here. And here's Cabarete Este. You know where Martini's is? Mm-hmm. This is it. Right across from the propane shop. The Texaco is right here. Okay, so this is the unit here. 1, 2, 3. This whole building here is 3 floors of 5. I like this unit, and it's available because the light comes in from this side. This one is gone, and the one below it, I think. Yeah. And possibly the bottom floor of this side. Other than that, the top floor of this is available, and all of this is available as well. These ones are gone because they have a view. These ones, you see a little bit of the ocean, but this one has the most direct, unobscured view through there. These couple in here have a view, and the rest are obscured by these buildings. The owner is keeping these for himself and selling these to lucky people like you for $109,000 and 175 HOA. He's going to deliver a bare bones, no air conditioning, no appliances. He's going to reuse whatever is there that's reusable. And oh my God, I'm useless with just don't change the view. My God, Jimmy, what an abortion. We got to do this again. Okay, we'll do everything twice today. Shit, bro. Sosua, Cabarete Este. Okay. Tropimar, there's martinis. My God. My bum hurts from sitting in this chair too long. Thanks to Max Bernier. That was good to have him out tonight. The election in Canada is pretty surprising. Again, he's keeping these 2-bedroom units. This is the property that's being sold, a part of the property. There's 5 units on each floor of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one is still available. It's one of my favorites because there is a little bit of a view, but you get the light, and there's windows on this side. These ones don't have that. The end one does, but they're on this side. This is the window side you want. I think that one's 311. So for 109 and 175 a night, this is the Victorian luxury condominiums here. They start at 200 minimum. Probably like 250s, more like it. My last deal in there was 220, and that was 2 years ago almost. So this is a solid deal. He'll go half down and half at 9 points over 3 years if you want it. He'll bonus you out too. I think he talked to him about like a year interest-only payments and balloon payments and all that kind of stuff, interest-free, penalty-free payments, no problems. Excuse me. I gotta get out of here. But I've had this show like banked for weeks. I just can't. I'm just having a hard time pulling the plug. So, thank you for your patience. So, all these links, I don't need to play them all through, but all the links are in the show description. Here's one for 109. Again, back in Caribe, Campo. 1 bedroom, 65 meters. This is a 30-year-old building. So, those are 30-year-old tiles. So, yeah. They're a little dated, but they're functional. There's nothing, there's no settling cracks in this building at all. You put a new kitchen, new bathroom in this thing. You got a nice ocean view right here. That's actually ocean back here. Oh, let's see. I'm cutting it so I can put you on a better view here, but then I'm forgetting when I go to the maps, or another page. This up here is a nice ocean view. 3rd floor, beautiful breeze, beautiful view of the pool right from your bed, man. This is a bedroom here. And this is just like your dining room, living room, kitchen combo. 65 meters total, $162.50 a month, roughly. 109. Who knows what it'll go for? Where's the bathroom? Did I skip the bathroom? Okay, here's the bathroom. There's no electricity on in here. But yeah, a pretty new renovation. Just done. So for 109, that could be a sitting duck too.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. And I got 2 of these left. 1 unit. This is 2 studio apartments on 1 title for $75K American. Like, come on. Like, come on. It's a little warm in here. Summer's coming. We've been really lucky though with the weather. It's been so nice. Less than, like low 80s, 70 at just over 70 at night. So this is. I want to wear these headphones. So freaking hot in here. They're a little high mileage, but the air conditioning work. I walked in there the other day. It felt like a fridge, and the fixtures are in pretty good shape. The hard miles, but in pretty decent shape. This is 1 unit that I'm displaying here. Again, these cards really. Yeah, somebody said the other day those cards suck on the short videos, but it's a small. There's 32.5 meters, and I've got detailed video of these. Where I go all around the corners and all above, do an inspection video. There's 4 units. Sorry, there's 2 left. I have 2 units on 1 title. $75K, $162.50 a month. 2 units, 1 title, 1 vote. And they say. One of my clients told me that when his titles came back, they came back separated. So normally you got to pay some bucks to get them separated, but it could be a possibility that maybe my lawyer's just magic. I don't know. I got a very good lawyer. This one is for, I have 1 unit for rent, okay? I don't do a lot of rentals, but strangely enough, I get just about as many calls for rentals as I do buying stuff. But this one's $550. It's spotty when you can get it. It's available in 2 weeks. It's rented out Saturday for 2 weeks, and then it's open till February. So the beginning of high season is wide open on this thing. If you take it long term, it's $550 a month. Internet's included, 2,000 TV channels, pillow couch here, a what do you call a Murphy bed here? Oh, it's down. So that Murphy bed goes into the wall, and then a table pops out, which is shown here. And they just told me, shit, list it for 75. Okay, done. So, and again, timing is everything. You don't know what they'll take. They're staying in the complex. They're just grabbing a 1-bedroom. This was kind of like their first foray into Dominican real estate, and they love it here, and they want something a little bit bigger. So they put a new kitchen in it, put that Murphy bed in it, they did a brand new air conditioner. They got some nice upgrades that they put into it. It's a nice little tight studio. I got to get rid of my cards. I'm not doing cards anymore. They don't bring me anything. Like, who's clicking these things? I do them religiously, and all they do is screw your video up. What the hell? Forget the cards. It's not making me any money. This is Perla Marina, and I'm less enthusiastic now. All the links are in the show description. This one's $577, and it's vacant now. If there's a sitting duck, this is another one. But they've already moved back to the States. Is this vacant now? Yeah, this is a vacant video. Still. How big is this thing again? Oh, why don't you ask all the questions you don't have the answers to, dummy? It's 7,000 square feet. No. It's 700,000 square feet. All right. It's 577 Perla Marina, sitting duck. This one, and timing is everything. This ting 2 years ago was $695. It's now $950. Why? Because it's rented for $20,000 a month or something retarded. $950, still a great deal. Up past Casa Dulce, Agua Dulce. I think it's Agua Dulce. On the mountain with a nice view. Technically, you should be able to see the ocean from there, but what a beautiful property. 3 separate units, 5 bedrooms total. It's a party palace if you want to rent it that way, or a CEO retreat. I can't remember how many it sleeps, but this place is pimped. What a beautiful spot. And the house is just supreme high quality. And this one, where are we? Terraza, Tropimar, Caribe, Campo. 2 levels, 80 meters, 200 a month. Upstairs, you've got walk-in from the main floor, and then downstairs, you walk out to a private garden. Which is this? It's uncommon in this place, but nice little tranquilo spot. Oh, and the next show is on the Trump effect. I got some advice for you snowbirds in Florida and Arizona that are dumping your properties. And I don't mean don't do it. My advice is how to sell in a market that's saturated with Canadians that are all dumping their property at the same time. And where are you going? I know where you're going. I'm already seeing you here. Nobody wants to be in Mexico where you have to leave every 6 months, or Costa Rica where the cost of living's way higher. You want to be here, and I'm seeing you. Mostly in rentals right now, but I know that when you dump those properties, you're going to be saying, hey, can I pick up a little condo for $150? Yes, you can. I've got a bunch of them. Call me. I'm Jim Fannin. This is for AI. Even though I'm doing a live broadcast now, it will be uploaded later and SEO'd properly. So I'm Jim Fannin, 30-year realtor. Well, 30, how many, 32? I don't know. 30-plus year realtor in Canada. And the next show is, and the links are actually in the show description right now. Canadians are dumping their stuff in Florida. I'm here for it. And guess what's a really good deal right now? Dominican Republic, specifically the North Shore, specifically at Sosua. I don't know. So the Trump effect is the next video I think that's coming out. And I've got some stats. I got some numbers. You're going to learn something here because I learned something when I went digging around in this. And if you happen to be one of those, and I know there's someone watching right now that's, where are these? These are mostly Dominican, North Shore Dominican. Greg S. on YouTube, whatever channel you're watching, I don't know. I've got some advice for you. How to stand out from the rest of your neighbors that are dumping their properties. It's foolproof and it's free. You get it free. You don't get it for free because free does not require a preposition. And now every time you hear somebody say for free, it's going to drive you loco la cabeza. Okay. Peace out. Hug your neighbor. And I am out.
It's the Real Estate Show. We've come to sell DR. Am I still on?
on the real estate market. There's many other factors. We'll talk about them all. Buckle up and welcome aboard. Sorry if this picture triggers you. We'll be assisted by Grok. I'm going to try and whip through this quickly. And we've got some links in the show description that you'll be able to look at and research for yourself. This is one of them. I'll put them in the comments during the live broadcast. This is a pre-recorded show. And so just some back talk from Grok. The American real estate market, particularly in the states like Florida and Arizona, have been significantly impacted by a surge in Canadian snowbirds retirees who spend winters in warmer U.S. climates selling their vacation homes and second properties in 2025. This trend is driven by a combination of economic, political, and environmental factors which have made owning and maintaining these properties less viable or desirable for Canadians. And the key drivers of Canadian snowbirds selling in the U.S., economic pressures, the weak Canadian dollar, the loonie is weakened significantly and is trading at a low not seen since 2003. This reduces Canadians' purchasing power, making property maintenance, taxes, insurance, and daily expenses in the U.S. much more costly. For example, a $20 lunch in the U.S. effectively costs $30 in Canadian dollars, and carrying costs for a property can exceed 20,000 Canadian dollars. Point 2, rising insurance costs. Florida's insurance market is in crisis due to frequent hurricanes and storms, with premiums tripling in some cases. Homeowners like Casadilla Credon reported insurance costs rising from $1,500 to over $16,000 annually. In Arizona, similar costs increase for utilities and taxes, add to the financial burden. Condo fees, this is one. HOA fees have just been going through the roof in the States. Sometimes there's no cap on them, and they just go right through the roof. Condo fees and assessments. Homeowners Association HOA fees in Florida have surged with the 2024 Redfin study noting that a 15% year-over-year increase in Tampa, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale. New building codes and a 40-year condo assessment prompted by hurricane risk has led to unexpected repair costs, sometimes requiring owners to pay tens of thousands up front or remortgage. The profit opportunity, point 3. The weakened loonie combined with significant property value appreciation. Example, Florida homes are up 164% from 2013 to 2023. Incentivizes some snowbirds to sell and convert U.S. dollar proceeds into Canadian dollars for a substantial profit. 4, political and cultural discomfort. And this is where we touch on trade talks, tariff talks, and Trump's potential effect on the market. Strained U.S. and political relations. This is not something to be overlooked or to be downsized. Political rhetoric from the U.S. President Donald Trump, including threats of a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, 10% tariffs on energy, and provocative comments about annexing Canada, i.e. making Canada the 51st state, or labeling it the 51st state, has created a sense of unease among Canadians. Many snowbirds feel uncomfortable or unwelcome or fear backlash, with some reporting concerns about how Floridians perceive them. New U.S. regulations, another point here, starting in April 2025. Canadians staying in the U.S. for more than 30 days must register with U.S. authorities and submit fingerprints
policy shift that adds administrative hurdles and signals stricter border enforcement. This has deterred snowbirds accustomed to visa-free stays of up to 6 months. Another major factor. Solidarity and patriotism. Some Canadians are selling or avoiding U.S. travel to show solidarity with Canada amid trade tensions. Social media and snowbird groups amplify sentiments against spending money in the U.S., with many feeling it betrays their country to maintain U.S. properties. Wow. Environmental and lifestyle risks. We talk about hurricane risks. Alternative destinations. Snowbirds are exploring other winter destinations like Portugal. Portugal? It's not easy to fly to Portugal. Mexico and Costa Rica. I don't know about Mexico and Costa Rica. You've only got a 180-day visa there. So every 6 months you need to leave the country. If you get picked up in a country like Mexico or Costa Rica while overstaying your visa, not only are you deported, but you won't be able to come back. Dominican Republic is also mentioned here. Dominican Republic is different than those other two locations, Mexico and Costa Rica. Colombia is also the same, from the standpoint that you can stay in the Dominican Republic for as long as you want. Yes, there's a 90-day visa, but overstaying your visa doesn't mean you're deported. All you do is pay an overstay fee on the way out, and you can stay as long as you want, and I mean as long as you want, and then come back as soon as you want after that. So the Dominican Republic is a little different than those other locations. But that goes on to say, offering lower costs, fewer political tensions, and diverse travel experiences. Younger retirees, in particular, prefer varied travel over maintaining a fixed U.S. property. We got changing preferences. Some snowbirds are opting to rent now rather than own, and I'm seeing this here a lot in the Dominican Republic. Not only are we seeing more renters flood the market, but we're seeing more buying of permanent homes for retirees. Others are investing in Canadian recreational properties such as Kelowna or Quebec to avoid cross-border complexities and current risks. So the impacts on the U.S. real estate market: surge in listings. Real estate agents report a sharp increase in Canadian-owned properties for sale. For instance, an Arizona realtor, Lori Levine, noted 18 Canadian listings in quarter one of 2025 compared to 2 to 4 during that quarter in the previous year. In Florida, blah, blah, blah. Market glut. The influx of Canadian sellers has led to a glut of properties, particularly in condos, in snowbird hotspots like Tampa, Sarasota, and Phoenix. This oversupply, coupled with high interest rates and a buyer's market, is softening property prices in these regions. Longer selling times when you can flood the property with when you flood the property with listings, you'll see longer selling times and lower prices. Properties are taking longer to sell, with some snowbirds accepting lower offers to offload quickly. Yes. A decline in Canadian buyers. Shift from buyers to sellers market. Historically, Canadians accounted for 13% of foreign home purchases in the U.S., with nearly 25% of Florida's foreign sales. However, they're seeing a stark contrast to the peak buying season. This absence of demand exacerbates market challenges in snowbird regions. So in a previous episode, I said I would give you some tips on how to stand out in a market that's flooded. And if you're in Florida, Arizona, and you're in the snowbird area, you're being flooded by listings. How do you stand out from those listings? Well, you can reduce your price to ridiculous levels. That's not what you probably want to do if you want to protect your investment. I suggest this: increase your buyer broker commission, your selling broker commission, or otherwise known as the co-op. If you're in a market like Canada or Arizona where the normal rate, the selling broker or co-op commission, the buyer broker's commission is 3%, try putting 4 on it. Add a point to it.
when your agent asks you what you're doing, say, I'm trying to incentivize buyer brokers to bring me full pop or something close to it. If you get full price, then you have to pay an extra point, or you could add 2 points to it. Imagine when everyone else in the market is at 3% and you're at 5% to the compensation to the buyer broker, guess how hard they're going to work to bring you more money? I say they're going to work harder to bring the seller a higher price. And if it doesn't work, you've heard me say this several times, but if you've never heard it before, there's only one time in the process where you, the seller, have leverage over the agents. And by leverage over the agents, I mean over the commission. There's only one time when you have leverage, and that is before you accept less than full price. Everyone's been in this situation before, probably, if you sold real estate. Well, I'll take this if you guys take that. Listen, if you get full pop, if you get full list price, the commission is in the contract. You know how much you're going to pay. But before you take less, you have every opportunity to say, listen, I will consider this offer right now if you two agents work for this. So if you're offering 5% to the selling broker and you get your full pop, you got to pay it. But if you're going to take significantly less, then before you do that, you say to the agents, listen, I will take this right now if you guys take this. What do you think? There is a simple, tried and true strategy to put more money in your pocket or to reduce your commission. The best time to reduce your commission is not at the time of listing your home, because then you're going to be a discount broker. You're going to have a 2% instead of 3% on your selling broker or buyer broker compensation. And all the agents are going to work on the properties where they're getting paid more money. So if that is true, then a higher percentage has got to help you. So if you want some tips on how to stand out in a market that's flooded with listings, consider this. Relist your home. Offer immediate possession. Include all the appliances or advertise it as furnished. That'll stand out. And by immediate possession, I don't mean you're desperate and you need to dump it quickly. I mean, if you get full pop or an acceptable offer, you can get out as quick as the lawyers can close it. And then, finally, raise the selling broker, the co-op compensation, the buyer broker percentage to something above the normal rate of commission in your market. That will help you stand out from the crowd. And if it doesn't work, you can always negotiate later. I hope this helped. You will have all the links for some of these articles that have flashed across your screen in the show description. And I am Jim Fannin. I run a channel down here in the Dominican Republic called Buying Dominican Republic. So I'm the host of this channel. You can find us on social media everywhere. And I look forward to your comments below. Where are you now? Are you selling? And what's your experience? Peace, love, hug your neighbor, and I am out.
February 26th. It's a Wednesday, the day before Independence Day. This is Alicia Beach. The sun's going down in 5 minutes, but cloud cover's obscuring it for today. Probably turn a bunch of colors for us once it goes down, but So I came out here earlier to disconnect and create some new content rather than the fake live. Now I'm live. How long have I been going here for? 3 hours, 32 minutes, and 4 seconds in. I'm going to do part 2, a little bit more in depth into the financial and statistical analysis of the Airbnb market. Last video didn't do too badly. It was just a touch on, leave North America, cash in some of your chips, get down here, a lot lower cost of living, taxes non-existent almost, depending. And look, you too could look like me. You don't need to be bald. I don't need to be bald. I got a full head of hair, but look at that brown bean. You can't get how brown I am unless you see me in person, especially under the fake lighting here. But so I'm going to cut this quick, and then we'll get some more content out to you. It won't be live. I might fake live it, but what's up, man? Get down here. Like I said, I came out here to kind of bust up the stream, and I was talking about the Trump effect, and I figured, I might as well let this roll. So you might see more of this old stuff just being recycled to get me back on. I haven't been doing a lot of live broadcasting lately. Have you noticed? It's low season here. Ooh, this Shift N. Yuck. Oh, I gotta be over here to do that? Eesh. Who puts videos up like that? Yeah. Anyway, tidying. I still technically have the last 2 studios on one title over here for 75 Gs, but and we've got some projects in here, including the development, 7,000 square feet of condo space. If you want to do a development, if you've got some engineering, if you know a good engineer and some vision and deep pockets, it's a good profit. And a couple 2 bedrooms, one that's functional and rentable right now, and then one that needs to be gutted completely, 100, 130. And then who knows? Well, my buddy just completed a renovation on his 1 bedroom overlooking the pool. While I was laying at the other pool, I said to him, so if somebody brought you 150, what would you do? You never know. So that's it, man. It's a low season now, so I got vacancies on a couple one rental anyway. I don't do a lot of rentals, but there are rentals in my complex that I can get you into, even if it's not mine. Cheap, $350 to $550 a month, depending on how nice and how furnished and how inclusive you want it to be. Mine's $550. It's probably close. It's not the cheapest, not the most expensive, but it includes this and high-speed internet, a Murphy bed that folds back up, gives you room for a place to eat, pull-out couch. This is a great complex, man. And you can still buy in this complex for about $100,000, depending on what you want. Right now, 75 buys you 2 studios on one title, 32.5 meters each, $162.50 a month. Or I got a bunch of 1 bedrooms in here at 109 right now, depending on location and state of renovation. They could even get cheaper, maybe 109, something like that. $100,000 gets you a nice little condo in this building, in and abouts USD, obviously. And 1 bedroom's $162.50 a month. There's no significant real estate taxes here. And that's the pool. It's about 80 meters. You don't get a whole lot of traffic. You will get a little bit. But excuse me, other than that, not a lot of motos, not a lot of chicas, not a lot of parties, not a lot of partying at the pool. Like Monte Vista is a similar kind of setup, like an old resort type of setup, but it's a little bit more party vibe. You don't get that vibe here, man. Older people, a lot of Canadians, a lot of Americans, a few Dominicans, a few Haitians, but good expat community. So before I get out of here, hard to believe, this is kind of like a walkabout, and more importantly than the walkabout of this, if you search my YouTube channel at Buying Dominican Republic, you can see the walk around the whole area. And videos like this are helpful for people that have never been here before and are going to Airbnb in this place. They can see the whole complex before they even come out. And then also, if you're buying or renting long term, if you search Caribe Campo walking tour or Caribe Campo, Caribe, Caribe Campo, then you can see the whole area. Maybe this one takes you down there. Good Friday walk. So yeah, this is this year on Good Friday, so it's updated. You can tell because Rena's moved across the hall there. She used to be over there on the left. And where does this take us? So see, yeah, this is a good example of going out, the parking area, down the hill, past the school, to the mini market, and then right down to George's. That's there. And then right down the hill to the 5. So I'll put the link in the show description of this one right here, because that show description I've got out there is not actually accurate. Like, it's got some old properties in it. I just stole it from another place. But if you want to see what this kind of area walking out of Terraza Tropimar, there's 3 buildings in Caribe Campo. The big one, the pool that you're just looking at here, is Terraza Tropimar. Across the driveway is residential Tropimar, and then at the top of the hill is Villas Tropimar. And what I understand, how I understand it, is all 3 of them formed the Caribe Campo Club back in the day. It was an all-inclusive resort, but there are other condominiums in this area, like Trade Winds down at the bottom of the hill. This is 7 Winds up here. I don't do many. I've never seen much available in there. I don't have a lot of interest in there, but because I'm up the hill. But there are other options. Trade Winds was one of them, but it's closer to the road. A little bit more expensive on the fees. Pool isn't as nice, but similar setup. So if you got a little bit of equity in North America, what do you think your property values are going to go up over the next few years? You think you're ever going to see better property values than you have right now in Canada? You miss the peak. But before it goes any further, maybe you can cash some of that in and come and see me over here. I'm Jim Fannin. I do this for the AI. I'm Jim Fannin. I'm the host of this channel, wherever you're watching it. At Buying Dominican Republic on YouTube. At Jim Fannin on X. The Jim Fannin Show on Facebook. And the Jim Fannin Show on Kick. The Jim Fannin Show on Twitch. Jim Fannin Show on Rumble. 1-809-332-6. 1-809-330. No. 1-809-330-8926. Yeah, that's it. You can call, text, or whatever. What app is best? All right. So, yeah, I'm going to get out. Peace. Love. Hug your neighbor. And I need to get some bananas. And I'm out.
Bueno, vacaciones. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
Ciao, mi hermano.
Sabe más perico, igual de Ok. Gracias a usted.
Well, I'm glad.
Hola.